Hey, Paula. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome in. What's going on? Hey. Wendy, what's going on? It's good to see you too. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Spirit has been spiriting really hard today. Like every day. But also, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to go on Spirit. See how everybody is doing. Thanks for that. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here. Lots and lots of signs and synchronicities today. Like, you know, the influx has a tendency to do like a squeeze or, you know, get small. But today, in particular, has been... How goes it, collective? Hey, thanks, Andrea, and thank you for the follow, Tyler. Hey, hi, Andrea. How are we doing today? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I love that. Yay, Wendy. I find it very soothing. It also makes me feel little, which I like. Andrea, I'm well. I'm well, thank you. It's raining over here, and I love the rain, so I'm grateful for that. Came out to do a collective and see what's going on with the energy. Spirit's been talking to me about a lot of what feels like something is on its way. We've been talking about like a birth on its way for a while now, the past few collectives. So I'm here to help that along. See what Spirit is going to say about it. I missed the rain. Understand that. Hey, Crystal from Houston. Good evening. Thank you for that. Welcome in. Hey, Char. It's Char, like chocolate. Hi. I feel like snow's on its way. Ooh, yes. I saw someone post about it too. I believe they're more central because I'm over here on the East Coast. Hey, Godiva. Welcome in. Hey, user 978-2748-70365. Where are you located with your snow? Northern Maine. Got you. Hey, Michelle. Welcome in the Great Lakes. We make it rain in California. Is it not very rainy in California? I've been to Cali once in my life. Michigan. Okay, thanks for that, user 97. Texas, got you, Godiva. Southern Cali. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. With all the rain I've got going on, I use it. Hey, Teresa. What's going on in Alabama? I was in Alabama for the first time in my life over the summer. So I drove through Alabama. Can't technically say I was in Alabama, though I'm sure I got gas in Alabama. It was cool. Alabama was big. Felt like it was big. Felt like I was driving through Alabama for a minute. That's the truth. Yeah. Beautiful. We are going to get into a collective pretty soon. We'll see what's what. Yeah, I feel that too. I'm going to open this window. I have this wonderful incense going on, but it's getting to the point where I can't see, which is a problem. It's a problem. So let's see. Let's see. That seems like a message too. Sometimes when we feel like we can't see things and when things get a little confusing or foggy, maybe the problem is easier to solve than we think. Thanks for that, Spirit. Yes, collective. Some of you are realizing that you got the call. Something happened today. This could be around building something. This is around as well using your throat chakra, saying something today. Saying something today. The number's 22. Dreams. The old-fashioned alarm clock could be very significant to some of the collective as well. Hey, King. I saw you. It's good to see you. Yes. For some of the collective, your dreams are very important. This has been coming up quite a bit. Paying attention to your dreams. For those in the collective who have financial concerns as well, this could be, they're really leaning it towards actual material wealth. Remember this lack mindset that we talk about, right? Sometimes it's about each time we use our debit card, or we find even a penny on the ground, or we get a coupon in an email. It's giving cadence to that energy and saying, oh, I'm grateful for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Becomes about noticing what is coming our way, okay? This doesn't mean don't plan for your future. This doesn't mean don't think about those things, absolutely. And also, more than one thing is true at the same time. We don't need to, when we're focused on the things we don't have, we're teaching the universe that this is what we want more of. That's the energy that we're putting out, right? So little things. Little things. And it shows up in ways that you don't always realize, right? Maybe somebody baked you some cookies or something at work. Excuse me. It shows up in small ways, right? Spirit's really asking you to pay attention to these signs. If there are things that are being brought to you. Again, the number 2 may be very significant. Instruments have been painfully focused. Hello, coochies. Yeah. Oh, welcome in. I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank you, Ash. Hello, Ash. Okay, Spirit. $11. Spirit is talking quite a bit about the assigning of meaning collective, to be mindful as you're noticing your signs and synchronicities about what you are assigning to them spiritually, because it's whatever you want it to be. In the beginning, it's about dropping into your feelings. How are you feeling when you're noticing the same number that's coming up? You get to change the meaning. Some of you are understanding the triangle. The triangle is significant to you. The Holy Trinity, the great mystery. You're seeing deeper. You are seeing. You're not alone, collective. Okay? The name Marie. Someone may be thinking about their daughter, particularly when their daughter was young. Spirit is bringing through. Spirit's been coming through in a very abstract way today. It's teaching us differently. It's training us differently. The number 31. The idea of home. Community. And change. Some of the collective has been seeing the letter V, the Roman numeral, for 5. This talks to me about change. You know that there's a change coming and it's on its way. 909. November 9th, 909. 9 being about the birthing energy as well. And completion. Hey, hi, and hello. For those of you in the collective, you are going through your next level of ascension. This is something that you're not really aware of. For some of you it is. You've been thinking about it, wondering about it. This is going to be confirmation for you. So you know who you are. What's going to be extra helpful for you, and what some of you are doing already, is focusing on your solar plex chakra. What kinds of things are you saying to yourself? How does your nervous system feel? You want to stay in a flow state energy? Sometimes it requires silence. Understood. Thank you, Spirit. Sometimes it requires silence. Turning down the noise. Roses are significant for some of the collective. You may be seeing lots of horses lately as well. For some of you, this is in your visions. For some of you, this is the image that's just been coming up lately a lot. Some of the collective, for some of you, this is about you're not sleeping enough. Sleep is disturbed, sleep is difficult. Roses. Calmness. Understood. Hello, the Diamond K. Welcome in. My name is Tian. I'm an intuitive. I'm doing a collective read at the moment. If you are interested in a personal with me, the link is going to be in my bio. If you feel called to do so. This is about wish fulfillment. What have you been wishing for? Okay, so collective. Remember to take care of your body. It's a vessel, right? It's a vessel for our spirit. It's a vessel for our energy. It's the closest relationship we'll ever have. Our body is a being, right? When we have thoughts, we're aware of our thoughts. We aren't our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. We're aware of our thoughts, whether you hear them, whether you just know them, and understand our thoughts' relationship to our body. Some of you are frustrated, feeling frustrated. Some of you are learning to talk yourselves into like soothing your nervous system around like your shadows. You're realizing that your shadows are not actually monsters. They're parts of yourselves. This has been coming out. Some of the collective is realizing the long haul is what Spirit wants me to say. Origin. Big message, Spirit. Big message. What does the collective needs to know? What does the collective know? Interesting. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Some of you have recently had a birthday. Spirit is telling some of you to stop. It's a hard stop. It's going to be different for everybody. It's a hard stop. Spirit is also talking about practicing in your free time. That's going to be something different for everybody. Interesting, Spirit. Practice in your free time. Understood. Being mindful about your own sovereignty. This can go in two different ways. When it comes to spirituality, be mindful of spiritual slavery. We started this collective off when we were talking about assigning meanings to signs and symbols. So important for us to be able to integrate, right? We're spirit having a human experience, so it helps for us to be able to understand. Be mindful about going too far into, how can I say this? Where we are giving lots of thoughts and energy into like what things mean, where we're seeking to the external so much for the external, looking for signs and synchronicities, that they become kind of a crutch and we like become untethered seeming, or we're still tethered because we still live in these bodies, right? There can be like an untethering where spirituality is not meant to be used as a crutch. It's not a place we go to escape what's happening here in the 3D. It is a place of peace and sanctuary, but it's within us, and it's always there. Spirit talks about integrating that into our lives, into the material realm, because there's really no separation. We've been taught that there was, that we had to go somewhere in order to, that there was a veil that needed to be thinned, or that there was a veil that needed to be lifted. And this, again, can be approached in two ways. The veil is always there. It becomes about our awareness. It becomes about our awareness about it. Right? So in that sense, yes, we can say the veil is very thin, or we're lifting the veil to look underneath. But the reality is, with the irony of this word, is that the veil is always there. It becomes about integrating it. So we're learning about shedding our ideas about this, the old world, our old understanding of this hard frequency material world, and integrating our connection to spirit as spiritual beings, as powerful beings, as creators. For many of the collective, you are at the initial stages of an awakening, a lot of like fresh, having questions, wondering, knowing that you just went through something, you're assigning meaning to like who you are, what you want to do, where do you want to go, what am I supposed to do with these gifts, what am I supposed to do with them? That is all part of the journey. That is all up to you because it's free will. No one can tell you that. What do you want to do? What do you feel called to do? What makes your heart sing? What is it? Spirit wants us to be playful, joyful, creative, because that's what we want. It brings joy. What are the things that you wished for as a child? What made you feel free? When did you feel safe? What makes your nervous system excited and relaxed at the same time? Feel supported in the best way? What does that for you? What does that for you? For some of you, this will be about work. Is your work fulfilling? Are you afraid to go after the thing you really want to because you're still kind of attached to an idea about what you should be doing? Be mindful about the word should. It's never too late for you to create the life that you want. That's the truth. It doesn't mean there's not going to be challenge. It doesn't mean that it may not feel a way. But that's what it becomes about, right? You didn't realize that spirituality was really, really real. You know what you're seeing is real. You know that the signs and synchronicities that you're getting is real. Understand this is just the tip of the iceberg. You are the captain of your ship, and you're the ship, and you're the water, and you're the ocean. Like, the Spirit's really talking to you, collective, about developing a practice that works for you. It doesn't have to look like someone else's. What works for you. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome in. For those of you just joining, my name is Tian. I'm an intuitive. If you have a question for me, I don't do yes or no's, because I yap. That's what I do. But if you do want to book a personal with me, the link is going to be in my bio, and you're welcome to do so. We are in a collective at the moment. Hi, Be Real. Welcome in. Yes. That's the truth. Remember? So spiritual slavery, using things as a crutch, be mindful of it. Our connection to spirit, keeping our heads in the cloud all the time, you know. It doesn't mean we were never disconnected from spirit. Spirit is always there 100%. It's the illusion of separation. That's really the first hurdle of our awakening, right? It's the illusion of separation where we feel lonely. Because the thing about knowing, the great remembering, awakening, is that you will experience things that only you know in many ways. And there will be signs and synchronicities that we experience as a collective. But there will be things that only you understand that are between you and spirit. Where spirit is like, hey, just so you know, I'm here. So it becomes about you having an unfettered faith in yourself. And unconditional love for yourself. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. Thank you for the likes, you guys. Thank you. Hey, Softail. Welcome in. Hi, Devi. Hey, Becca. How goes it? The Spirit's like, no cards yet. Okay. I'm here, Spirit. I'm here for it. Spirit is talking to me about someone having an idea. You have this idea. Someone has an idea. Someone has an idea. What are the ideas you're having about yourself, collective? What are the ideas you're having about, like, seriously? Dip in, and how do you speak to yourself? Thank you, Spirit. How do you speak to yourself? In your mind. When things don't go well. When things are going well. Be mindful about black and white thinking, contrast thinking. Spirit is talking about the collective has like ancestral support. There's a lot of change going on. Again, the lion is going to be significant for some of the collective. A connection to New Orleans, or like the saxophone or types of brassy instruments, dolphins, ants, and those mirrors that are like kind of narrow with gold like trim around them. Spirit wants me to let you know that you are protected. The number 44 may be significant. It's been coming up quite a bit. The number 44, 444. Cats. Peace sign. Again. Thank you, Spirit. The collective is recognizing the connection as one. The collective is very beautiful in thinking about how to use your skills, your abilities as healers, as peacemakers. Please remember that it's not external, it's internal. Making peace and feeling peaceful, even when things outside of us are not telling us those things, right? It doesn't mean that we ignore them or we spiritually bypass that. Is being able to make space for all of it. And keeping in a place of peace. Hey, hi, hello, welcome in to those of you just joining. Hey, Felicia, it's been a minute. How are you? It's good to see you. This is your first time here. My name is Tian. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm an intuitive. I do not do yes or no questions. If you do want to book a personal with me, my books are open. At the moment, I'm doing a collective channel. I never really know when I come to sit down how Spirit's gonna relay the message. So at the moment, this message is speaking to those who are not early in their awakening and their understanding of it. You are seeing lots of things. You are making connections. Some of you are seeking guidance. Some of you have connected with your guides. The Wizard of Oz may be significant for some of you. Let's see. Spirit, what does the collective need to know? What does the collective need to know? Hey, be real. Thank you for that. Okay, thanks for that confirmation. Be real, I would like to pull some cards for you if you're willing to accept. If not, that's okay. Feel free to give them to someone else in the collective. I don't always do readings, like call on people, but I do when I'm guided. I will pull a few more cards for the collective while you decide. Understood. Understood. Yes. You may work with like celestial beings. Have ties to them as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have a name that you would prefer that I call you by? Belen. or Bilen. Hey, Crystal. Welcome in. Hope I said that right. Did I pronounce your name right? Bethlehem in Spanish. Belen. Belen. It's nice to meet you, Belen. My name is Tian. I'm an intuitive. Do I have permission to access your energy? Okay. Spirit, what messages can I bring for Belen for her greatest and highest good? And not to be assuming, are your pronouns she, her? Understood. Thank you for that. I'm they, them. I like to ask. She, they. Thanks for that. Okay. Belen, I am Spirit is coming like right toward me with, would you understand a mother energy, a maternal energy, with a tight grip. Understood. This energy that's coming through, I'm not getting as past. This is like a situation that Spirit wants to confirm for me, that there may be some... Spirit is pointing me to the word smother. That there may be like almost a feeling of suffocation. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your godmother as well. Sorry to hear about that. Yes. Would you understand that, Bella? Okay. Thanks for that. Yeah, still... Okay. Spirit is talking to me about this type of energy. Like a smothering type of energy from a mother figure, mother. You also may have just been getting into tarot on your own. You have a deck that you have had for a little bit that you just were like dabbling in. Your spirit team is here talking with me about this, and that it's like confirmation for you. Would you understand that? I'm a sister. Okay, thanks for that. Different also. Understood. Okay. Okay, thank you, Belen. Thank you for that. Okay. You may be looking to like promote your work in some sense, or like you may be I'll sit with that, Spirit. Thanks for that. There's quite a bit coming at the same time, which is telling me that you may be kind of having a bit of like a lack of clarity about where to move and how to move. Is you're in the middle of healing and like working through some of this energy where like you're working through this kind of smothering energy. You're like going to get your wings, per se, is what Spirit is bringing to me. may recently experience like a betrayal that helped you walk toward, or you're concerned about a betrayal. The things that you have been through in the past have helped you to open up your third eye, this connection. There's like this uncertainty around it. It's because you need more space. Thanks for that, Belen. Okay, thank you for that. I have your team here with me. They're showing me like a duck bill. Understood. You may have like also connections, like Mayan connections. You have like ancient spirit guides here with me, which is why they're coming through. Thank you for that. They're really encouraging you having this alone time for while you're on this journey to find yourself. Like you're already there. It's not like you're finding yourself. It's more like you're taking off. You're taking things off. You know, where some energies, you know, we go through life, sometimes we're building. We pick things up and we put them on to build ourselves. You're already there. This right now is about you shedding. Spirit is very like disrobe. You may be learning about vulnerability as well. Spirit is really talking to me about this silly duck energy and a snail energy as well. There may be also like a Cancer, like astrological signs. Okay, Belen, thank you. Mom's different faiths. Understood. Okay. Yes. Yeah, sometimes it goes way back. Yeah, it's a really cute little duck. There's more to it though. There is like Mayan history here. If this is something that you're interested in learning about, there may be something there for you if you're drawn to it. There may be something of value there. As I'm being guided to talk about it, and I know Spirit does not speak just for the sake of, you know. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Taino, like Boricua, like Spanish? Or Tanio? Shedding. Okay, understood. Understood. Okay, yes. So definitely understood. Yeah, this is about ancestors. There really is talking about, it's very cute. The duck energy keeps coming through. This is like a soul, this is like a spirit animal, like a spirit guide of yours. There's a connection here and there. It's very cute. Understood. You may also have like a connection to animals, or I've been thinking about this. You may have a connection to like in the senior community as well. Okay. Understood. Thank you, Belen. Dominican and Puerto Rican. Yeah, definitely. Latino, for sure. Definitely follow that. Ducky, the way I said the ducky today. Okay. Okay, thanks for that. Okay. Thank you for that understanding, and I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Yes, Spirit. Okay, so Belen, you are... Understood. Yes. Spirit is talking to me about traditional, but the idea of spirituality is like very strong in your family. It has been. Your understanding of it has shifted quite a bit lately, and this has to do with many things. Particularly, you are developing a relationship with Spirit. You've been inviting it. You've been inviting it, and Spirit is here for you. There may be something very significant about your sun sign. You may have had a birthday or like Leo energy. recently. This is connected somehow to spirituality. I'll sit with it. Okay, Spirit, thank you. Okay, yeah. The sun. Can't make this up. Thank you, Spirit. Understood. Okay. So your spirit team is coming through. The things that you're going through right now, there's a lot I can't see about them, but spirit is coming through for you to let you know, like, you're gonna triumph over this. You're gonna get through this. Remember to have some fun. Remember to always, always, always seek the truth. Okay? Got real serious. Your team got real serious with me. They're like, you may have a lot of fire in your chart. You may want to look up the sun god and Taino and that story about how that came about. The connection around it. Thank you, Spirit. You want to help people. You're kind of a straight shooter, like from the hip. You want to help people. Thank you, Spirit. Hey, Mandy, what's going on? Welcome in. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, definitely. This is really going to be helpful for you moving forward too. It's always going to be about free will, Belen. Always, right? So when you feel these like hits, these intuitive hits, because you do want to know more about it. You want to know how to develop your practice, and you're doing all the right things, right? There's no one way to do things. You also may have Gemini energy as well. There's no one way to do things, right? So it becomes about us trusting our intuition. So when you're getting these hits where you're like, dang, I've been really thinking about, like the Mayan civilization. I've really been interested all of a sudden in Egyptian astrology, like whatever that is, just follow it. It doesn't mean we have to tie it to something for the rest of our lives, but it begins to teach us to trust ourselves, which you have learned because you've been through betrayal. It's helped you to get to where you are. It's important not to live there. Right? It's important not to live there. We take what we've learned and we apply that. Egyptian sky gods. Understood, yes. The eye was coming through for me too earlier, right here on the sun card. Right? Spirit was like, you need to pull the sun card. I was like, okay. I mean, not that I knew it was going to be the sun card, but to pull that card. Do not be afraid of your shadows, okay? Don't be afraid of like demons or any of that stuff. It's not. It's all us. When shadow comes up, when those things come up, that's an aspect of ourselves asking to be healed, asking to be nurtured, asking to be integrated, right? Many times we talk about shedding an ego, killing the ego death, or, to work with the shadow to eliminate it. As human beings, that's we're meant to have that balance. We need to have both the contrast of boundaries and understand that we are simultaneously limitless, right? But in this world, we need the polarity of boundary. It gives us something to work towards. It gives us something to fight for, right? When we're pure spirit, when we leave these bodies, we're operating at a high vibration where we don't have anything fighting us. We have the things that we want. There's a lot I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know it all because I don't. That's the truth. But there's a lot that I do know. There's things that I do know. I'm not going to say a lot, but there are things that I do know. So to understand that our contract here as beings, energetic beings having a human experience, is to go through challenge. And that is why we are faced with challenge. We have free will. We have choices. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to let that make us bitter and then treat the next person in the same way to try to just offset that energy? No. You will not do that. You are not that way. You are learning about that. Not saying don't process your feelings or things, but it's about not living in guilt. Taking accountability, which you are doing. Do not beat yourself up over it. It becomes about, I saw what I did there, and this is what I'm going to do different. This is what I've learned. The Spirit's talking to me about guilt, for you to let that go. We can't fuck it up. We can't fuck up being human. We just can't. Hey, Connie, welcome in. Understood, Belen. Understood. It's, sometimes inviting it in. And being like, I feel like I need to grieve today. What do I need to know, Spirit? What is it? And sometimes it's a harsh lesson. It feels hard. But on the other side of it, when we are allowing ourselves to integrate that, you also may have an accent. This is your family coming through. Thank you, Spirit. And from the universe. I appreciate you. Yeah, your eclectic background is showing genuinely when you are like moving toward your practice, there are no limits. Okay, you're feeling like you're getting want to move towards celestial understandings, that there are like aliens, there are whatever it is, just move toward that, explore it. It doesn't mean that you need to be tied to that. Spirit is really encouraging you to be open here. Kind of shifting gears quickly. That's the truth. You are a creator. Yeah. Yes, that's the truth. Belen, thank you for letting me read your energy. I appreciate your confidence in me. If you have any questions for me, my email is going to be in a link in the bio. I was being called to read for you. I don't pick on someone every single time when I'm doing a live. It really depends on what it is. So I hope that this was helpful for you. If you want to see this message again, because I know that there was a lot here, I do post on YouTube and my YouTube channel. If you want to go back and look at that, shoot me like an email again and I will post that because I don't do it automatically. Yeah, definitely. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. Yeah, I will definitely do consider following me. Don't feel like you need to. You can check back periodically. It'll be in my stories when I upload the video to YouTube. That channel is also available in the link in my bio too. So yeah, and thank you to your team. Thank you to your energy. I want to send back Belen's energy and team with love and light for the greatest and highest good of all here in the collective and the collective in general. Thank you, Spirit. I love you. I'm grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you. Understood. Yes. Much gratitude. Same to you. Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you, Spirit. Coming through. Hello, Alicia. How are you? How's it going? It's okay. Yeah, Felicia, it's all good. You know, the lives, they are not quite structured as I like for it to be a free bird in that realm. So no worries. And yeah, Mercury retrograde, I've recently come to understand that I do have a ton of like Venus placements. And then my chart is very Venus heavy. Plot twist, I'm Mercurial ruled. And which I say many times, I'm not an astrologer. Though I do love astrology stuff. And what I've come to learn about Mercury retrograde, and retrogrades in general, is it's like a pause for reflection. Oh, thanks for that, Spirit. It's a pause for reflection, right? Like the Chariot, in a way. Like, there are some readers who talk about the Chariot like getting ready for a movement. But when we look at the Chariot, right, they're actually laying down in the Chariot. It's like a temporary pause for reflection. It's like it goes internal for retrograde. So it's kind of like, it's all about perception, right? We reflect on our ideas, our intellect. Mercury's about intellect, communication, right? Speed. Hey Cynthia, welcome in. What's going on? Not one stutter or light flicker. We are on the up and up. Hey, hi, hello. Hello, Julissa, what's going on? So I guess AI is a new thing for TikTok, and it keeps showing up in the comments. And what I really want to do is block it. Like, I love AI. It's a tool, and I'm down with it. Oh, thanks for the understanding, Spirit. You know, that's really what it is, y'all. When we think about astrology and divination, tools, all of these are tools. Astrology is a tool. It's what we choose to do with it, how we choose to think about it, right? How are we speaking to ourselves? What power, our words are spells. So what power are we imbuing around us, right? If I'm saying that this pen sucks, I'm giving power to this pen failing. Our words are spells. Our words are powerful, and our brains don't know the difference because we're creators, right? Felicia, I called it controlled fire. Let's see what it is. Yeah, you know? That's interesting because fire can keep you warm. It can cook food. It can help build things, develop things. Or if too much of it, right, then it becomes destructive. How are we using it? How are we using it? Cynthia, I just got off work. You were so calm. Oh, Cynthia, I'm glad. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah. You know, we work to make it relaxing over here. Hey, hi, hello. Welcome in. Let's see. Let's see. It's a message for the collective spirit. Decisions, collective. Somebody has a decision to make. Ooh, what is the moon tonight? Let me take a look. Somebody has a decision to make. This is related to your moon sign, collective, whatever that is for you. It's going to be different to everybody, for everybody. Oh, thank you for that understanding, spirit. This is going to be around your emotion. Spirit is asking you, what is in your private heart and your heart of hearts around this decision? As a Cancer moon tonight, Cancer is beautiful, very intuitive, really heart-centered, heart-forward. Remember, it's Scorpio season, so there's really no time for bullshit when it comes to really anything. It's about emotional depth. It's about depth. It is not to be taken lightly. It's why Scorpio season, for some, where emotions and talking about things that are vulnerable can be like a very delicate place. When Scorpio season comes around, it can be very uncomfortable because it becomes about needing to know those things. We need to learn ourselves. It's a power dynamic in relationships. You might be a Libra. You're trying to figure out, for some of the collective, is this a yes or no? I just want a straight answer. It's a yes or no. Remembering that you don't need to give your power away. And when we're talking about if this is something that you can do, can I do this? If you're in the car and you're behind the wheel of the car and you're the one making decisions driving, you get the option. You get the option. We typically don't turn to the passenger and it's like, which direction do you want to go? Do you want to hit the turning signal and then turn the wheel? I know I'm in the driver's seat. Because that would be giving our power away, right? And that's kind of dangerous. Cynthia, I'm a Libra. Okay. Thanks for that, Cynthia. That there may be something here for you in this collective reading. Rainbows. LGBTQ community related. Some of you are learning more about yourselves. For some of you, this is about speaking up how you really feel around your emotions. It's about being fully seen. It's about what you're being, you know, to speak what you, to speak how you really feel, to be committed to speaking the truth about how you feel inside. Spirit's asking you to bask in that truth. This is around the heart space as well. So for some of you, this literally could be about learning about yourself, in a sense of being in the queer community, realizations you've had about yourself, and your heart space opening here. As related to spirituality. Spirit is not stopping with these. And again, deeper meanings of life. Reviewing your life. It's funny how we go through time and we think that life is a specific thing, that life is this one way, right? Hey, Teresa, what's up? Welcome in. Hello. 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 Right? And our idea about what was important to us changes, and our idea about what really matters changes. And that's okay. Sometimes we are like dealt a specific hand, and then it becomes about what are we going to do with that? Spirit wants me to talk about spades, the game spades, right? I used to play this game when I was a kid. I loved spades. I was good. I was mighty good. I loved it. And I was so confident in spades that I would play with my hand facing outward. I didn't care who saw. Because it became about, regardless of what you can see, you still don't know how I'm going to play, right? It doesn't matter what you see. So don't always, just because you think my hand looks a certain way, that I can't make the best of it. Because that's what Spirit asks us. When something looks like, oh man, I don't know how that is. And then you shock the world, collective. Maybe you've shocked yourself with all the things that you've been through, where you've been handed this particular stack of cards that does not look good, and then you made something of it regardless when people told you that you couldn't, or expected you to be something else, or expected you to look or act in a certain way or fail. For some of the collective, that really lights you up and that helps you. And then to remember on that same token that when people aren't there to tell us that we can't, that we need to understand to generate that fire within ourselves when we don't have that adversity, because that also gets us in like a trauma mindset where we need to have somebody telling us no to like get us up to go. So for some of you, this is going to be a very relevant message. Take a look at yourself, a deeper look at your emotions around this type of behavior. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. The name Tom. Thanks for that, Spirit. The name Tom for some of the collective is relevant. Cynthia's trying to learn to live. My spouse has to deal with. Understood, Cynthia. Without my spouse. I'm glad this is resonating with you guys. I feel you. I feel you. Thank you, Spirit. It's also time to go. Understand when it's time to stop and slow down. This is the second time this card came out in this deck, and with these glasses. Spirit is really talking about learning. It's like stopping, taking a look at yourself, pausing, okay? When it's time to stop, assess, right? We've been talking a lot about being able to take a pause with things, look at things a little bit deeper. Having a pause or being able to sit in silence is not failure. It's not that progress isn't happening. Rest is also progress. Rest is also progress, right? This is relevant. Spirit is talking to me about for some of the collective that has children, right? Child can go. They have all this energy, this boundless energy, but they still need to rest at night. They still need to rest at night, right? And how much they can grow. sometimes in like a year's time, sometimes in a couple of months, 3, 4, 5 inches. We are the same. We are the same, even though you can't see. For in some cases that growth is externalized. But as we learn to drop in, we'll notice it. We'll notice it. We have to give ourselves that opportunity. The colors blue and red. For some of the collective, you have a recent shoulder injury that's coming all the way down. For some of the collective, you've been thinking about like a recent or a semi-recent, like a heartbreak, or like an unrequited love or a relationship that seemed to just keep missing. Interesting, Spirit. This came up again around a birthday cake. Thanks for that, Spirit. You're going through a birth. A birthing, collective. A birthing and a rebirth. Let's see what the message is for you around this. Let's see what the message is around, because this keeps coming up. Spirit, who is this message for? This is going to be for the collective who has begun to pick up their tarot cards again. Not a bunch of experience. You've made a commitment. Spirit wants me to talk with you about understanding that a relationship with Spirit is not about making wishes. Like, Spirit is not a genie. Okay? There are definitely things that we can do, but we're our own genies. We are our own genies. Okay? When something doesn't go our way, or a way that we think that it should, it's about protection. 9:59 on the clock. It's about protection. 9:59 on the clock. The number 19. Again, this is connected to the Sun card. This is about sense of self. These times can bring feelings of worry and anxiety. Let go of any limiting beliefs or negative thoughts. Have faith in yourself. What were we talking about a little bit earlier, you guys, right? We're the captain of our ship. We're the water. We're the boat. We're the captain. Have faith in yourself, okay? That doesn't mean that we can't feel grief. We can hold space for both of those things. We can drop in and say, oh, and be silly. Yeah. Little speech impediment. We can hold space for both of those things. Both of those things. Interesting. It's maybe difficult to talk about. Understood. For some of the collective, it is really about talking about it. For some of the collective, it's about saying it out loud, and like, because that makes it real, which is kind of scary. But to be able to say it out loud, make it real, let it die to have a birth. Let it die to have a birth. Because it gets better. You can sit in the same energy and say, you know, think about all of those times in your life that you've gone through hard things, where it didn't seem like you were going to get out of the other side. Like, it didn't seem like it was going to end. And then you kind of look back on it, it's like, oh, I did get through that. To know that we won't always feel a certain way. We are not our feelings, Spirit says. We're not our feelings. I had bad spirit come out for me for my daily guidance today. Oh, leash. Cool. Thanks for that. Represents rebirth. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, self-discovery. This is around the heart space. This is also speaking to me about the Magician card, right? With the number 1 here. Gold is also really important for some of the collective here. You may be envisioning yourself in golden light. Lots of golden things may have been coming up for you lately. This is confirmation for you. For some of the collective, you're looking into moon magic. You're beginning to look ahead to start to plan things. Spirit wants you to know that the truth comes from within. Spirit is also teaching some of the collective that not every sign or synchronicity is meant to mean something in the sense that we think that it is. Signs and synchronicities, it becomes about actively saying, okay, understood, Spirit, I'm going to let that go. Okay, I can let that go. Yes, that means something. This is also Spirit telling us that it's important that we build a practice. To build a practice. To ground, to shake it out, to dance it out. Go outside. Be silly. Oh, one with nature. I can't make it up, y'all. The number 30, lots of threes, 30 and 31. And it's 10:03 on the clock. Also 13. Spirit. Yo, Spirit is on it today. I love you, Spirit. I'm grateful for you. I am. Hey, Daljan, what's going on? What's poppin'? Hey, Sandra. Yeah, Spirit is... It has been. Well, we're also... Neptune is also in the final degree of Pisces retrograde. So is Uranus. Also in the final degree of Taurus. So this birthing energy is the realist. That's for sure. Spirit's got jokes, man. I love you, Spirit. My goodness. Indulgent, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. I'm spirited with Spirit. I'm spirited with Spirit. Spirit's talking to me about time and temperance for some of the collective as well. You may be seeing 14 a lot. Give it some time, y'all. Time doesn't mean that things are pausing. For some of you, it's going to mean that it is time. Whenever you're questioning, if it's not a clear, like, this is a confirmation, and there's like a little bit of hesitancy there, that's Spirit asking you to take a pause and to consider. When we are confused about something, that's Spirit, that's our body, okay? That's Spirit letting us know, like, oh, wait a minute, this needs some thought behind it. Is this a red flag? Is this a go? Right? I need to understand this. I need to understand this. Hey, V, what's going on? Welcome in. Thank you for the roses. Hello, Missy. Welcome in. Felicia, I feel like my eyes are open to the 3rd degree. Yes, Felicia, I feel that. It's time. It's time. Yeah. Appreciate you, Spirit. It really has a lot to do with loving. The Spirit is talking to the collective about loving ourselves. Right? And Cancer Moon, again, is really, really all about deep intuition, love, emotion, stability. It's protecting the things that we love. Feeling like home, feeling safe. Right? We think about the crab. It's kind of like moving sideways to protect the soft stuff. Right? Lions came up again. Spirit is really talking to the collective right now. For some of the collective, it's like when you thought you couldn't go on. For some of the collective, you took a tremendous financial blow or a blow of an abundance somewhere. It took you like right out of that 9 of Cups energy. It was kind of like, oh my goodness, like I feel like I almost had it. Things seemed so set up. Like things seemed so solid. And when that was taken away, it was like a huge break in strength. It was like a sense of weakness, feeling vulnerable, self-doubt. You've been fighting with this collective. And right now, for many of you, because of your consistency, we're talking about like Saturn influence here, where you've been making, how do I say this? Making a consistent, dependable, intentional movement. And this is about yourself, about loving yourself, whether it's affirmations, putting little things aside for yourself. Maybe saying no, putting boundaries in place that would have felt uncomfortable, that you had learned when you were like looking back as a child and being like, ooh, you know, I didn't know that I was doing that. I didn't know that was part of me. And loving yourself through it. Loving yourself. This is what's bringing you to the new beginning where you're finding this piece to yourself that you didn't even know. Happy for you, collective. Yeah, Taurus energy. Heart space. Stability, nurture, comfort. Hey, Bridget. What's going on? Hi. Hi. You know, I was just talking about Cancer Moon and like, boop, here you are. How's it going? It's been feeling like that lately. Yes, yes. Spirit is coming through to give you support. There are things that still feel hidden right now. Remembering, it's about remembering those cycles, all the things that you've come through. Listen to the messages that Spirit is bringing to you. For some of you, Spirit's like keeps drawing my eye to the Bluetooth. What? Hi, what? Where? Hi, what's going on? Oh, you guys, listen, this is so funny. All day, the past couple days has been like turned up, you know? I can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for me. And I feel like it has been coming across collectively. Like we have a lot of, yeah, because we have Saturn in Pisces, Neptune's in Pisces. Venus is in Scorpio. We have a lot of hardcore intuition. Jupiter in Cancer. We have a lot of hardcore intuition things. The retrograde. Hi. Yes, the retrograde. Moment of pause. Moment of pause. Reflection. Yeah, for some, it does feel disconnecting for some. It really does, right? The Spirit's talking about gratitude for the little things in front. Gratitude for the little things in front. But yeah, Spirit's been spiriting. Been getting like lots and lots of signs, synchronicities coming up on ya. Been super quiet. Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it really is about, you know, like going inward to recharge. Felicia retrograde has me shifting my heart posture. Very isolated, but very sensitive. Yeah. Understood. Want to scream and laugh all at once. Just let it out. I hear that. It's been very heart-centered this season thus far. A lot of vulnerability and coming forward, talking about emotion. There's really like a no-nonsense tolerance for conversation that is not meaningful. It doesn't mean that every single conversation has to be, you know, like negative or depth, or how do I say this, feeling heavy in a negative sense. But the theme that I've been experiencing in the collectives and, you know, the micro collective of one in my personal life, same, has been conversations they're very healing if we are allowing the opportunity to come in to do that. And it's not just the relationships like outside of ourselves, it's our relationship with ourselves too. But they're in Scorpio season, so it's in depth. Felicia told me about this. That's true. That's true. Grateful to you, Spirit. I am also sending extra love to my Scorpios out there. Scorpio placements as well for the season. I'm looking at you, April. I feel you. A season has been heavy. It's the truth. It's the truth. Scorpio moons, really any significant Scorpio placements, any Scorpio placements in your chart, you know? Also, because also we have Venus in Scorpio, so this is about relationships, love, beauty, self-worth. It's in the early degrees of Scorpio. I feel you. Oh, yes. Magdalena, welcome in. My name is Tian. I'm a intuitive. I was going to say I'm a spiritual psychic healer. I feel like Spirit's guiding me towards different things. With that being said, hi, I'm doing a collective at the moment. If you would like to book a personal with me, my books are open. The link is going to be in the bio if you feel called to do so. I do not do yes or no questions, and I yap a lot. But you are welcome to stay. Either way. Thanks, Felicia. You know, at the end of the day, like, you are making the choice to do the work, to sit with it, you know? I'm really grateful that I can be a channel for Spirit and learn and heal too, you know, and be a weird little human. Grateful for that. And I know that it really is all about free will. So, you know, when we are able to give ourselves that gift of like loving ourselves and sitting with ourselves, we're able to receive, you know? And a lot of times it looks just like how it is here, where we like are taking a curiosity in about ourselves, about Spirit. It doesn't matter like how you practice, what you practice. It's really about giving energy to the understanding that there are things that are outside of ourselves and that we want our hearts to be open. We want, you know, we genuinely care about things outside of ourselves and ourselves. And we recognize like, you know, I want to love myself. I know that I need to work on myself if I want to experience the things in the ways that I want to, you know. But I say need, but it's always going to be free will. We don't have to need, you know, we don't need to do anything. So if y'all been crying a lot lately. Oh yeah, Taljan. Yeah. That was me last week. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like I cry a little bit almost every day, depending on what it is. Because I used to not, right? The vulnerability was not valued. And now happy tears too. I cry just like feeling touched too. Sandra, thank you for that. Yeah. I feel like there are many things I think, you know, at folks like in that we do in our work here. And there are many things that I aim to do also. And so if I am that for you, I'm very happy. Andrea, am I up for a chart tonight? Sure, absolutely. Smell the roses, the yap is great advice. Thanks, I'm glad. Thank you, April. Thanks for that. Yeah, I love y'all. I love life. I love this life. It's hard, it's challenging, and I'm grateful to do it. You know? Be a weird little human with such a weird life. I'm grateful for you guys. Thank you. Oh. So much. All the feelings. I feel them all now. So many feels. Truly. You know? You never know. I'm so glad, Sandra. I am. I really am. Helps me too. You know? Oh my goodness. Andrea, I got you. Happy to do so. Happy to do so. Hi, B Sweet. How are you? Welcome in. Andrea, I've got you. Andrea, thank you for that. Thank you for the tip as well. I appreciate you. You did not have to do that. I am grateful for it. Thank you. All right, so this is the first official, for those of you who are in the chat at the moment, this is my first official astrology reading, birth chart reading. So I'm pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about it. Andrea, do you want to shoot me your birth date, time of birth, and location? You can message me if you want to. I'm pretty excited too. You can message me. I don't typically answer DMs through TikTok because it gets weird. In this case, I will make the exception because we're doing the read. But outside of this, if y'all want to like get in touch with me, please send me an email. I know, I'm excited. Look at you guys brought in. It was funny. It like started happening the other night too. Another friend of mine on TikTok had come in, and I love him. He's such a good person. He like is a big LGBTQ like trans advocate, trans man. You know, he doesn't like walk with spirit in the way. I mean, we all walk with spirit, but he's not like spiritual in the sense that he works with divination and that sort of thing. And like spirit was like nudging me to read his birth chart. You know, when spirit be calling, I'm like, you know, I'll pick up that phone. You know I will. I'll pick up both phones. Call me. So, yes, I pulled up his chart and then it just kind of exploded from there. So, excited about it. Excited about it. All right, let's see. I appreciate you too, Andrea. I can. I would love to. Andrea, will you shoot me? I mean, you could email me too if you want to. It's up to you. Do you your birthday, time of birth, and location of birth, city and state, or city and country, capital and country. This way we don't have to share your information. In the meantime, I will, ironically, April, or not ironically, I have Erica's deck here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a peek. Oh, I got you. Yes, came up. Beautiful. Okay. Scorpio. Okay. I feel like you know this already, April. Transformation. Also, monarch butterflies could be very significant to you. 42. There's quite a lot about this card. You may have even gotten like a new 90 is what Spirit is talking to me about. You are in the middle of a transformation. That's for sure. That's for sure. We could explore this. I got you. Yeah, Spirit is funny, right? I can't. April and Bridget, who are in the chat, are also gifted. Very, very gifted. Psychically and in mediumship and in other things too. We have taken some groups together. Okay. Let's see what we can see. One of the messages coming through is that it's like, it doesn't need to be that serious, which is funny. Spirit's talking about silence being deafening. Honestly, when it comes to, I know because I've in my own practice, it took me a bit to like get to this understanding. And sometimes I do not want to sit in silence. I know when I am struggling against it, that it's really important for me to do that. So it's going to be important for some of you in the collective when it comes to meditation. If it feels unusual and you find yourself like struggling against it, it's usually because we have to teach ourselves very, very slowly. But it's going to be valuable. It's going to be valuable. You are so welcome, April. My pleasure. My pleasure. Oh, thank you, Bridget. Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's a funny thing, right? It's like, so I talk about it too, like when folks are, like when you're coming into your awakening and things, you know, and when we talk about like getting our practices started, this feels important to talk about. To know that we don't need to put a timestamp on things. We don't need to compare ourselves. It really is all about our personal, like our relationship with spirit, like what we put in to the work, you know, as long as we follow our intuition and we follow our heart, like we lead with our hearts. I'm telling you, things will happen that you would not believe. I mean, you would believe it because it's happening to you, but also sometimes it's just scary. But don't compare yourself, and don't give yourself a timestamp. Like I have to be doing this thing by a certain day, like a certain age, you know, a certain thing. Like that's all bullshit. Understood, Deljen. Yeah, Bridget, for real, for real. For real, for real. I also used the runes witches deck the other night. Actually, I use it in I want to say Friday. And I run like a little group there. And it comes up a lot. It's powerful. All right. Let's see what we can see. Let's see what we can see. What is this? What do we got going on? That is not correct. Is that correct? Hold on a minute. That's correct. Okay. Andrea, you have your ascendant is in Leo. Interesting. Sun is in Scorpio. Very powerful placement. Spirit's talking to me about tact, like tactful, like secrecy, privacy. This is also talking about your extremely powerful insight for things. Trusting that. And Spirit talks about really leaning into, at this, like, interesting, Spirit. The chart is speaking on, like, Scorpio in general is about regeneration, like death and rebirth, and really talking about trusting the power of your own depth. It did. It did. It did. Spirit is funny that way. Hi, Evie. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. At the moment, I'm doing a personal, but if you're welcome to hang out. If you are interested in booking with me, my link is in the bio. Thank you for the follow as well. Okay, Spirit. How else do you want me to speak on this? Capricorn moon. Okay. Your Mercury is in Scorpio. You have some very heavy and powerful Scorpio placements. Scorpio is also in Mercury. in the 3rd degree, which is like the early degrees of it, which just talks to us about like, some astrologers say the early degrees are like the purity, or like, you know, the heaviest, the purest traits. Purity, not in a sense of like the best, purity meaning the most likely, you know, fitting in that archetype. I believe that it's nuanced. But when we're talking about Mercury in Scorpio, again, right, Mercury, or Mercury retrograde, so we're going to talk about it. And it's also sextile the moon, which is about emotion. Very powerful. Just, you have super duper hardcore psychic intuition abilities if you wanted to follow those. You also have Pisces in your 8th and 9th house, and Cancer in your 12th house. You're psychic as fuck. Excuse my language. Beautiful. Okay. So, understood, Spirit. Okay. Interesting. So understanding that Mercury, you already, like, these are things that you know about yourself. This is going to be a confirmation for you. You may find that you're drawn naturally to the hidden and mysterious transformative aspects of life. So again, we were talking about Scorpio season, like coming into this collective. Scorpio really is about depth. It's no surface level bullshit. I'm not into it. I'm not interested. It's boring to me. And not boring in a sense of like worthless. It's completely unfulfilling to who I am as a human being. Because I think, feel, act from my heart. I want to devour everything, feel it, process it, and then eat it again with everything on fire, because that is how I feel inside. It's a really, really strong Scorpio energy in that realm in Scorpio season, right? At its, like, you know, at its most rawest and most colorful description of all. I like your purple. You're like, yeah, purple heart. I'm like, yes. So with that, again, this is really talking about the value that you have around privacy, and that's also a superpower. That's also a superpower. Let's see. When we're talking about, you know, it might make others feel uncomfortable when you are quiet, or they may, like, for those of you who don't know you on the surface, they may not realize how much you are seeing or feeling or interpreting, because you are quiet, but nothing slips past you. It is very, very detail oriented. It's almost like a Virgo, how Virgos are hardcore detail oriented. The thing about Scorpio is that it's like emotionally driven detail. Let's see. Your Mars is in Sagittarius in the 5th house. This is talking about again, we're talking about depth here. Things that fuel you. Being drawn to adventure. Finding the meaning for things. Sometimes that's just it. Like, I want to understand the meaning of the things and the meaning of that. What is at the heart of it. We'll get back to that. Spirit's drawing me to your Venus in Libra. Also powerful placement. This is also, Venus in Libra is also, can be a fame placement. In the 3rd house, this is talking about communication, learning, and social exchanges. Talking about writing, music. And it's also, your Venus is also sextile to your ascendant, which is why it's in Scorpio too, or also related with Scorpio. Yeah. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Where is your midheaven? Your midheaven is in Aries. And it's trine Mars. It's talking about productive energy here and confidence in the professional sphere. And people trust you. You get shit done. You get shit done. Let me go to some of the most heaviest placements here. I'm also going to send this to you. Your Jupiter is in Libra. You actually have quite a few Libra placements. Technically, you have a Libra stellium, as well as a Scorpio stellium. Stelliums being the more that you have of a particular sign in your chart, the more of those, it's like the volume on those traits are turned up. Do you have any, okay, you don't have any 8th house placements. Let's talk about your 12th house placement. Let me come back in here and see what we got going on. Teresa, could you still get a reading? Yes, you can definitely still get a reading. It will not be as super duper detailed. There will be quite a bit. What I'm looking to do here is give the surface level in the sense of like the big 3. And then talking about career a bit, and then kind of answering like any questions around that. You know, the getting the temperature around those things. So, like for example, like the third house, like what those houses mean, that kind of thing. Although I'm not an astrologer, like I said, but I love astrology stuff. Okay. So absolutely, Teresa, you are welcome to do so. And then what we're going to do is go off of that. We're going to read that intuitively. So you also have Saturn in Libra, Andrea, and that's also in the 3rd house. So this really talks about a very specific pattern when like working like early in life. This may have revolved around like education and relationships with siblings where you needed to recognize patterns early on. You may not have honestly understood because Saturn can be pretty tough. Like these lessons, the thing, Saturn is slow, right? So I'm a Capricorn and I have like a few Saturn placements and Capricorn placements. So with it being slow, sometimes like these are like slow, painful lessons. And then once they're learned, they become this kind of solid pattern. So it becomes about applying that here in your 3rd house in Libra. It talks about the balance of you on one hand and what you feel your obligations are towards society. The most important life lesson here is to have the balance between yourselves and then anyone else in your orbit, which actually lines up perfectly with your Scorpio energy. It's helpful because Scorpios, again, like the highest archetype, the most concentrated version of the archetype is I'm not going to speak without meaning. So sometimes it could be very, very quiet. So then it becomes about being extremely introspective, which works well with Saturn because Saturn is about discipline. So it's like when you get it right, you're always going to hit the nail on the head here. And having Saturn in Libra is also really good. Your sense of justice and fairness really, really makes you a powerful manifester as well. Oh, Leash, thanks for that. Yeah. I mean, I've been reading. I learned about astro chart like in my 20s, so it's been like 20 years on and off, going back and forth, reading seriously for others, you know, or like giving that insight. Again, it's, to me, astrology is a tool, just like the cards, right? I was like talking about this last night. It doesn't make us do anything, doesn't mean anything. We apply the meaning. So we have a collective understanding about what the energies hold in different transits and planets and that sort of thing. So it's helpful in that sense, and it can be interpreted intuitively and should be, in my opinion. Let's see. Do you have any questions so far? We have things. You have a lot of really powerful placements. I mean, all placements have their there's like strengths and lessons within each like placement. When we're talking about, when it comes to, oh, I know about Pluto and I know about Saturn because I have those types of placements in my chart. So, and they're really about like transformation and death and rebirth, which, you know, we know as human beings is really difficult, like having to change and do something, right? So you have Uranus and Scorpio, which talks about having like unusual circumstances. Uranus is about like quick, unexpected, sudden change. And having that in Scorpio, which is about death, power dynamics, transformation, cultivating your power. Having that in the 4th house, which is around traditional family life, talks about the things that you have learned that shaped your understanding. So it's kind of like you had this wisdom likely, or like accrued all of this wisdom at a very young age because you've been through a lot of shit. A lot of shit. A lot of stuff. But it makes you strong. And these like, you know, that's not to say like, oh, you know, so good, so glad you went through these things. It's not the same as condoning that behavior. It's having an understanding of, oof, you know, like I recognize when change is here, which is another reason about why your psychic abilities and why your intuition is so high. It's from the part of that is like training, in a sense, where when we're talking about Uranus that shifts quickly, it's having the understanding that we need to be adaptable to and open and sensitive to slight changes in the environment. So that's priming us psychically, right, at a very young age. So become like a very aware, very intuitive, and in a family dynamic, who do we spend our time with, right? So independence and innovation. So you coming up with unusual ways to do things and like make things work. Absolutely, Andrea. No problem. I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I was like requested to do so I will do that, and I can do last night's as well, because there is a lot here. I think in the future I am offering like doing it in a private read as well, to like get into and discuss it. So, you know, we'll do like the big things. As I'm being guided to speak on it, I'm going to bring it to you as I'm being guided to. You also have Neptune in the 5th house, which is about like relationships and romance. Neptune is about dreaminess. It's about very, very psychic, very, very intuitive as well. This is part of, and it's also in Sagittarius. My Neptune is also in Sagittarius. So understanding like this placement, it's different in the 5th house, which we'll like talk about a little bit, but this is also about relationships. We're talking about spiritual explorers, philosophers, idealists in this position who yearn for universal truth. So it becomes about seeking the truth, like the truth of it. I don't care if it hurts. I don't care if it's painful. I don't care. I need to know the truth. I need a solid foundation. I need to know. And that is what I would always seek unyieldingly. And this is something that is just inside. It's like bred inside. So to be mindful of that, especially around the home life and in close relationships, because with Neptune, right? How do I say this? Because Neptune can be idealistic and Sagittarius can be idealistic, it becomes about being mindful about applying those ideals to people, especially in close relationships when it comes down to like family, especially like in the 5th house, which is about romantic relationships and family and like children. So to be mindful of idealizing love, that doesn't mean don't dream, that doesn't mean don't be romantic. It's not that at all. It's to use all of your insanely powerful Scorpio placements and your Capricorn placements, your wisdom here when you are, when it comes to matters of the heart and otherwise. That's going to be the ultimate guide here. And it's a slow build. It's a slow burn for you, which is important with these placements. For you, romance is like a spiritual quest. For you, it's like, oh, like, yes, that's what I want. And it's an unyielding. And it's what's going to help feed you, ultimately. And to make sure that, you know, in partnerships, that they are meeting we can see the best in people. And that's a good thing, to be able to do that. It also requires, thanks, Spirit, I see that, 10-4-3 on the clock, 1-4-3 on the clock. That's an I love you for those of you in the collective. That'll be significant for some of you. When it comes to this placement, it becomes about, I'm going to sit with that for a second, Spirit. Spirit's like, boop. Wait. All right. If it's going to come back, it's going to come back. We'll stay with it. Essentially, using your wisdom and following your heart and teaching yourself to go with your instincts. If there's a red flag that's coming up, or if there's something feel like anything, your attunement is quite high. So making sure or has the ability to be quite high. So making sure that you're dropping inside and you're paying attention to anything that's boop. Spirit is showing me like a lobster antennae, you know, or like a lobster hair, like anything that is in that water that makes that movement. It's stop, put a pause on it. Let's explore and see what that's about. Your Pluto is in Libra and is in the 3rd house. Interesting. Understood. Okay. So, and with that being, thank you, Spirit. Now I understand. Spirit was like, wait, there's more. So with that being said, this is not to scare you or make you feel like the world is to look at the world with a critical eye or a suspicious eye, which is completely understood simply because of the things that you have worked to get to where you are, right? Being private, understanding what your power is, understanding how to discern because your heart is so big, because you love so deeply, because you care so deeply. So to continue to use that sense of discernment, lobster was disgusting. It's funny. Oh, Spirit. Yo, I'm telling you, Spirit's got jokes all day long. All day long, Spirit's got jokes. Which does lead into being kind of silly. Don't be afraid to be silly. And Spirit shows me that you are goofy when you are feeling like when someone has earned that position with you. To be mindful of approaching like relationships that are, you know, kind of laced with suspicion or complexity. Sometimes people don't have the intentions that they may come across that as first. So it's really about kind of giving, like learning that balance. It's learning that balance. It's kind of like, well, I'll give you the opportunity and what feels comfortable for you. I'll give you the opportunity to like, you know, is it 3 strikes you're out, you know, and what constitutes of those strikes for you. Thank you, Spirit, for that understanding. Okay, right. Spirit's talking to me about like when giving someone chances, sometimes it can be about giving someone something like really up to 3 times, or like giving something to someone like maybe 1 or 2 times and seeing what that relationship exchange is like. Like if you are leading the relationship and you're, you know, or you like give a gift or something, and this is all, again, very nuanced, and that person is like kind of just taking, you know, then it becomes, well, maybe I won't do that anymore. You know, maybe I won't invite this person anymore. Maybe I won't spend my energy or my time with this person anymore, right? it's not so much about relationships being transactional as much as it is understanding that there is a bit of Spirit wants me to use the word semantic here. We're going to put that off to the side because I'll see where and when it applies. It becomes about there is transaction in relationship. It's not that relationships should be or are designed off of transaction purely, right? But overall, like energy and relationship is about, it's all about energy, right? So if you're pouring your love and your thought and your compassion and your nurturing into something or someone, and you are unable, like you're leaving that experience feeling depleted, it's important to begin to explore that and put some boundaries in place. Okay, your life's purpose, which is such a loaded way to approach this. Essentially, your North Node, which is, they talk about like the soul's journey of growth and integration. It's in Leo. So, and this is for everyone who has a, everyone has a North Node, but the North Node is the thing that we are always kind of walking toward and meant to do in this lifetime for our soul's evolution. And it's the most uncomfortable thing. It's the thing that feels most foreign to us. What Spirit is telling me here is that your North Node is in Leo, right? Leos are very bold, like bright, like vocal, not attention seeking, but there's this like this kind of commanding confidence that they have, or they say like the idealistic, for Leo. I love a Leo. They're soft and cuddly, like there's no shade or shame here. So this really comes about you expressing your creativity and sharing your unique light. So what is the most special thing about you that you know is special about you? And doing it playfully with the world. This is going to help you really step into your power. It's about you getting into the spotlight and doing it with a real sense of joy. So finding out what that is for you. This is going to help you connect authentically while maintaining your true self. This is really about the journey that you're in right now too. Interesting, Spirit. Together they trace the path from past conditioning to future potential. So this is going to heal things that you've experienced. It's like a whole kit and caboodle of healing here. And that the North Node is also like a practice as well. And your North Node is also in the first house. So a Leo North Node in the first house. The first house is like our understanding of self. Understood, Spirit. Yes, I will. South Node in the 7th house. Okay. Yes. There may be a lifelong pull between caring for others and honoring one's own path. Okay. These individuals are learning to become more courageous and independent, to trust their own instincts, which I see you like, you're like at the crux here. These individuals are learning to become more courageous and independent, to trust their own instincts and to let go of the need for constant harmony at the expense of authenticity. Sometimes people are just going to need to sit with it. Whether, when it comes to you and your like integrity, your sense of self-worth and you loving on yourself, people are not always going to like that. And that's just what it is. We'll never be able to please everybody. So, and it's not our job to do that. If someone doesn't like that you're putting a boundary in place because you're tired, you're hungry, you don't like something, maybe you just don't like apples, maybe you just don't like them, and they're like, oh, and they begin to take that personally, that has nothing to do with you. They can sit with that is not your responsibility to fix that for them. And it's not about being harsh, doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, you're loving yourself in a way that is so necessary for you to embrace yourself wholly. That's really part of the journey here. Because of how intensely connected you are to your intuition and essentially anticipating people's needs, their wants, their desires, you probably know people deeper than they could ever think that you would. The way that you can anticipate what they need to do. To be mindful of that sense of adaptability at the expense of yourself. To keep the peace, right? This is going to be one of the things that are coming forward for you. It is not selfish for you to prioritize yourself and your needs. You would not allow it for someone else if you anticipated that, if you could feel that. So it becomes about turning that like super high level sense of empathy back toward you. As they learn to affirm their presence, you discover strength and balance within. Just practice small. Practice small. Small ways. Like really think about it. If you're at the dinner table and I don't know, maybe someone is like serving you or something at the plate and like serving your plate. They're like, oh, you look like you could use more, but you really don't want to eat more, but you do it because it's not that big of a deal. And you're like, it makes them happy. It's no big deal. Consider something. It is really uncomfortable, Andrea. It is uncomfortable. So it becomes about practicing low stakes. Practicing low stakes. It's like, actually, you know what? Like, I'm actually really good. I don't want any more. Thanks very much. And then to get comfortable sitting in that energy, because when you begin to do this, it's going to make people around you uncomfortable because they have an idea about who you are, who you should be. But it's their projection of who you are to them, not who you actually are. Because you get to say who you actually are. You get to do that. And it's going to feel weird, right? Especially when we can anticipate people's needs, their wants, their desires. It's a superpower. It's a superpower and also part of our power. This is going to be a lot about healing roots, like early roots, like early childhood roots, family of origin roots. This is about you like really using your throat chakra, speaking up, coming forward. Another large placement here, and this is what I'm gonna close up on. We can definitely chat a little bit more. I'll get this sent to you. We can like chat in an email if you want. Your Chiron is in Taurus. Chiron is the wounded healer, right? So Chiron is, it's kind of like, I think of Chiron like as related to the North Node, where it's our life's purpose. Chiron is the thing that we are really, really sensitive about. Sometimes we don't even know. It's like the hidden. It's like the story of Chiron is, I believe it was a minotaur. I don't remember. I'm not going to lie. What I do know is that Chiron was shot with an enchanted arrow and it like hit his liver. And because it was from another god, he could not die because he was an immortal, but this arrow was also really, was a godly arrow. And so it was just stuck and it just hurt in there, right? And so that's why they call Chiron the wounded healer. His story was, yeah, he was a minotaur or a centaur. A wise and compassionate healer and teacher and a centaur who suffered a deep unhealable wound. And though he lived with great pain, he chose to give up his immortality to ease another's suffering. So essentially, what they teach about healing Chiron, and this goes across the board because we all have Chiron placements, is learning about our Chiron placement and then learning to use it to our power to heal others. And in doing so, we are healing ourselves at the same time. Your Chiron is in Taurus. This is around a wound of not having enough. So a lack mindset is going to be something that this is pointing to. So it now becomes about an abundance mindset. What can be really helpful for you here is practicing gratitude in small ways. And they'll lead to big ways too. And I mean, I'm not talking about delusional positivity or toxic positivity or ignoring something. Like if you have a broken leg and you're like, well, I'm really glad that, my leg is broken. Totally not the same thing. It becomes about, maybe you really did break your leg. Who knows? Maybe you fell down 3 flights of stairs. Maybe, who knows the scenario. But it becomes about, I'm really grateful that, we're gonna let the broken leg scenario rest. Spirit's like. It becomes about, I'm really grateful that I have the ability to change. I'm really grateful that I have the ability to change. I'm really grateful that I had the ability to use electricity today. I'm really grateful that I have the ability to take a shower, that I have running water. And it becomes this kind of like, I was speaking about this a little bit earlier too, we're like helping to teach the universe about abundance. And like play a little game with yourself. I'll teach you I'll give you like a small nugget about a money spell, right? A money working. It can be, for example, let's say you have a quarter or a $5 bill or anything that you want. You have a little altar set up. You go and you put the money there and you say to the universe, I am going to manifest some extra money coming in. Give it like low stakes. Give it some low stakes. You know, maybe it's $20, maybe it's $40, whatever that is. And then as your day goes on, maybe this shows up in a discount. Maybe you go to the store and you go to buy like a cup of coffee and then it's like a, buy one, get half off. Thank you, Spirit. I see you. Thanks for that, Spirit. I appreciate that. Begin to seek those things in the universe because the universe is like, you mean like this, Andrea? You mean like this, Andrea? Yes, Spirit. Thank you for that. It's about letting go of material things and knowing that your worth is inside no matter what you have, because all this stuff is temporary. Our bodies, our vessels that are here, we're going to give them back. I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for it. I'm not looking to give it up, But it becomes about recognizing that. I'm so grateful that I had an awakening. I'm grateful to you, Spirit, that I understand that there's things outside of myself that are bigger than me and that I still have connection to myself. I'm grateful for that, Spirit. Simple pleasures. Because Chiron is in your 10th house, this becomes about, especially Chiron, this is about like career too. It can become about like being seen. You are working hard to serve the greater good. That's like what you do as a person. So you may feel misunderstood. It becomes about doing things that please you, that make you feel happy. Doing things that you're doing them because you love to do them, because you know it's the right thing and because you love to do them, because it's fulfilling to you, right? Even as healers in this work, I love this work. I will always answer the call. And then also I recognize that I'm human and I'm spirit too. And it's also my responsibility to love on me and to be silly also, and to give myself that gift, the same that I want for everybody. I want that for everyone. I want everybody to feel good, I understand it's not my responsibility to do that. This is really about you defining what success means to you on your own terms, not what anybody else tells you to do. Said thanks to my birds for the eggs this afternoon. It was beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Also, you guys, thank you so much for the shares and the likes and the gifts. I appreciate that. When I'm talking, I often do not look at the screen. Spirit's got me, boop. So I just want to say thank you for that. I appreciate the support. Thank you, guys. Also, hydration. Thank you, Spirit. You may be thinking about moving soon as well, Andrea. Spirit's talking to me about that. And also maybe doing something in like an EMT or like medical field. Or you're like trying to think about how to like use your gifts. You'll figure it out. You will. Lead with your heart. That's what's going to get you everything that you want and more. And you can always ask for more. But that's really what Spirit is asking you and presenting to you. Love you too, April. Thank you for this. Yeah. Andrea, you're most welcome. Thank you for your confidence in me. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and sharing your energy and your team with me. Happy to send you this chart as well. Give me a holler, let me know, and I will get that to you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm grateful for it. And listen, the birth chart, y'all, there's a birth chart is a lot. There's a lot going on in there. So I could, like, y'all think I could I could yap now. Yeah, I could run laps for hours. I genuinely could speak on the chart for so long. There's so much to it, and it's very complex. And again, I'm not an astrologer, so this is me giving to you the information as I know it, and as an intuitive, bringing what is brought to me as I'm guided to. It's pretty neat. That's how I read for me. That is how I read for myself. So, oh, thank you guys. Thanks, Jalissa and Leash. Thank you. Yeah, grateful for it. Grateful for it. Pretty cool. Yeah, as for the thanks, Spirit. Also, you guys, Spirit may be coming to you with different things as well to kind of move out of your comfort zone. Move out of your comfort zone. Especially when we're talking about like our life's path or our life's purpose. For those of you in the collective who are like, what am I going to do with my abilities? What am I supposed to be doing? Spirit wants me to talk about understanding that we're always kind of thank you, Spirit. I see you. I love you too. Spirit is also talking about we're always tiptoeing around our destiny, so to speak. We're always kind of like in the orbit. We may not see it very clearly, but we're always going to be around there. So, you know, for example, maybe you were always drawn to helping people, or you found yourself, you know, being interested in the technical aspects of things, and what your skill set combined with your understanding of spirituality, how that can be used as like a tool, and also a point of healing for you in your own journey. Oh, Andrea, beautiful. I'm very happy to hear that. Awesome. Yeah, I'm grateful for that. That is good stuff. I'm excited for you, Andrea. I am. I'm excited for you. Like, the world is your oyster. It's the truth. It's taking it slow, you know? Although you're at a crossroads. The Spirit's talking to me like the time is, you know, the time is when you want it to be. To not put a timestamp on it and to follow your intuition. And that's the trickiest part, you guys. There is no time limit. Time is not a real thing. Following your heart. Following your heart. Because when we're like tapping into our skills and our abilities, and we know we have a calling, and like we have that understanding, let me just say that it's never going to be like how we think it's going to be. When we manifest something, when we have an idea about something, right? What I can tell you is that when we are able to say to Spirit, like, Spirit, I really would like to have this thing, and I know that this is in my heart's desire, and I'm doing all of the things that I'm being called to do, and I'm doing the work, and, you know, I really want this thing, but I'm okay without it. Like, I know that I'm still worthy if I don't have it, and I'm still going to walk with integrity and a conscience that is connected with a sense of love, universal love for myself and for the world around me. And that's really the lesson that Spirit continues to present to us over and over again in so many different ways. And things will happen for you like beyond, better than your wildest dreams, better than you have hoped for or manifested. You know, it becomes about getting ourselves, teaching ourselves, reparenting ourselves for many of us in the collective. Also, thank you guys so much for the follows. I appreciate that. For many in the collective, 6 months from now, with your awakening, is going to be very, very different. Very, very different. Your sense of self, your sense of connection to spirit is going to change. Like, it's going to rapidly expand. A lot of information. Spirit's going to teach you how to... Spirit's talking to me about, like, disseminate that information and then also sort through it. Spirit, what did you want me to talk about earlier with that? Okay, understood. Thank you for that. Hey, hi, hello. Yeah. My goodness, I'm gonna take a moment with that. Yeah, spirit really has been spiriting today. That's the truth. Grateful for it. That's true, Andrea. That's true. And I can feel it. Like, I can feel it. I can feel, like, the difference in what's been going on. Your, like, how you've been, like, thinking about yourself, how you're moving toward it. And it's really beautiful. And I'm grateful to be, like, a part of that. You know, like, witness to it more so than that, because, you know, we really do get out what we put in. That's the truth. You've been doing that. You know, making that conscious effort. The rice jar experiment, you guys. Our thoughts are power. Our words are power. Our intentions are power. Yeah, I love to see it. I love to feel it. Yeah, and if you think about, it's true, like, for me, I think about where I was sitting 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a month ago, definitely a year ago, 2 years ago. Totally different person. Different life. Different life. Things can change so quickly. And when we are being honest with ourselves, because sometimes we think, and it's not that we're not being honest with ourselves. Spirit will always give us the opportunity to like dig a little deeper. So maybe there's something that you don't want to admit to yourself that you maybe are afraid to even say out loud. Because saying it out loud makes it real. And so Spirit is asking me to bring forward, well, what are you afraid of? Because if you're thinking about it and you say it out loud and to make it real, what does that mean for you? What does it mean for you? Just watch the novel. Let's see you think. You can. Spirit's talking to me about every instinct that you get to like pick up. Or when you get an idea to like run towards your notebook or put a note in your phone. Or even like oral dictation into your phone so that it can keep, capture that moment. 1111. Because the power is yours. We're so powerful. Sometimes we're afraid of our power. Could it be we don't want to say things out loud because if we say them out loud, then that means we'll need to do something about it. If that makes it real. Sometimes. And then questioning that. Because a lot of times we kind of get in our own way, in a sense. And it's not like a negative, there's no shame there. It becomes about well, I could never do this, or yeah, maybe it worked out for this person, but it wouldn't work out for me. Well, then if you think that, then definitely. Because your words are power. But when you think of something, just because you're thinking of it, it's possible. Because anything is possible, technically. It then becomes about how am I going to make a movement toward that thing that I want. Yeah. Thanks for that, April. Heck yeah, 1111, I got you. I got you. It's true. It's the truth. It's the truth. Think you can, think you can't. Either way, you're right. Thank you for that. Yes. Yes. Because it's funny. I was talking to someone recently, and the conversation came up like around the idea of not knowing where, like I have, how do I say this? I have friends who will not know where they will be like 3 months from now, 4 months from now. People who work, that can travel, they can work anywhere. Like for me, I can go anywhere, I can travel, I can work from anywhere, which I'm very grateful for, because so long as I have access to Wi-Fi, right? Or cellular service. Or, well, no, there are other things, but with that being in mind, so that opens up things for me in a sense. And then also, like there's a level of planning that's required. And then it becomes about, well, as I'm talking to this person, it becomes about, well, doesn't it feel like there's instability per se, right? Like we seek to try to have this permanent attachment to things, this sense of stability, this sense of control. And I think to myself, like, we as beings have so little control over what we think, like in the long run, on the grand scale of things. Like, we are very powerful. We have to understand, when we understand where our power comes from, which is with it, right? So, like, for example, and that's spirit, like, we're here to have an experience. So, like, I have, some of us plan our whole lives out. Some people are married like 35, 40 years, and they're like, oh yeah, this is definitely where I'm going to be. And then they get divorced the last 5 years of their lives. Or, natural disaster happens that no one could have planned for. Or these things happen, sudden shifts happen that are like upheavals of our lives. So if we're seeking to attach ourselves to the sense of stability in a material sense, right? In a material sense, that's something that spirit will teach us over and over and over again, doesn't have the value that we think that it should. And humans, we're really good about, if we're not quite connected to ourselves, like emotionally or spiritually, we can kind of deny and be like, well, I should be happy because I make all this money. I should be happy because I have this social status. I should be happy because I, did all the things that I was told I was supposed to do. Like, I have this great job. I'm really, high on the hierarchy of social class. I have lots of money. I'm doing all the things. I should be happy. There's nothing wrong with me. I should be happy. I'm doing the things that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. And that doesn't mean that you can't have a boatload of money. That doesn't mean that you can't be happily married or not married or have any of that stuff. It becomes about, what is it that brings you true abundance? What is it that brings you true abundance? What is it that really, really matters that brings you stability? Because what truly brings us everlasting stability is the connection to ourselves, loving ourselves unconditionally, regardless of what is going on in the external, regardless of that. And that's one of the most difficult things to learn in our society, for those of us who are, just waking in the collective and quite far along in the journey, right? We're not perfect. So, and we've been taught to be disconnected from that simply by being tired, simply by working for someone else, or having concerns about healthcare, being able to pay for groceries, or having natural things that we know intuitively should be covered, could be covered because of, this very dysfunctional society, essentially, this level of injustice. So we tune out from it. Hi, what's up? Welcome in, Cozy. Hey, hi, hello. Oh, excuse me. Let's see, Sandra, and I have to trust that knowing from within. Oh, excuse me, and not be afraid of being wrong. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Thank you, Jade. I got you. Thanks for letting me know. So, full transparency, I will forget as we go through. So I appreciate you letting me know. Thanks for that. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be wrong or to not be perfect. Perfect is made up anyway. And it's to understand, like, yeah, like, like, oh well, like, so what? I guess I didn't get it that time. What did I learn? I do this when I'm teaching and like training in intuition, right? Because it can be kind of like, to be able to be in that place and to receive like message, we have to have a relaxed nervous system. So it becomes about, what is making me feel safe externally? What is going on externally? And how do I come back to center with that, right? And if we're afraid to make a mistake, or when we're afraid, that really like puts a squeeze on our ability to connect with ourselves and regulate our own nervous system, which even without intuition, right, which is the barometer for how we feel, that sense of dysregulation is disruptive, not only spiritually, but physically. And it shows up in lots of other ways too. So it's kind of like, oh, you know what? Like, I guess I didn't get that. All right. Yeah. Interesting. But a lot about the self. 11, 9, 11, 19. A lot about the self today and new beginnings for the collective. Because Spirit keeps talking to me about the Sun card. This is like the next step for many of the collective, right? The focus being on the self, your sense of self, ego, confidence, positioning yourself in a place of safety and nurture that you're doing for yourself. Understood, Spirit. Yeah. Yeah. Being mindful about having the experiences that we did in the past, collective. When it comes to being afraid of being hurt again, or like opening up and having a sense of trust for people. Because we don't want to, I know that we've come so far collectively, and then it becomes about, well, I don't want to get hurt. I want to have these experiences, but I don't want to get hurt. So just be mindful of that you're not who you were, and that you have so much more wisdom. You have a wisdom now that you didn't have before. Night Leash, same to you. Yeah. Spirit brought this up earlier too. So for those of you that have been working with tarot too, you're also supported. Like, you're taking this interest. Spirit's telling me about how this is representative of those for the collective who are actually dipping back into their tarot cards, and for those who are beginning to, Spirit was talking to me about speaking to Spirit out loud. Like, however it is that you are walking in your practice, you're at like the beginning stages. You might be talking about it. Spirit was giving me like the totem for like speaking about it. So, interesting. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, yo, I love talking to Spirit. I talk Spirit all day, out loud. Sometimes not so loud, but not intentionally. Sometimes Spirit is, you know, just kind of hanging out, just watching, being like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you up to?" Yeah, and discerning your messages, how it relates. This is confirmation for you. Again, 2-2 came up again. 2-2's been coming up quite a lot. Interesting, Spirit. Understood. Okay. For some of the collective, there may be like a feeling that you're not really trusting the signs and synchronicities that you're getting. They feel unreliable. You feel like maybe you're easily tricked into believing that this is something. And this is all going to come with time. Or Spirit is going to teach you, you know, it's all about the work. It's about the amount of work that we put in. It could be the work works. What we put into our practice is what we're going to get back. And it requires like a level of, you know, how far do you want to go? Like, what do you want to know? You know? Like, what are you looking for? And maybe you don't know. It becomes about following your heart and seeing where it leads you. Because Spirit is talking about King of Wands energy, especially in Scorpio season. This is really going to be, this is like, Spirit's talking to me about like probably like mid-November, probably maybe in a couple of weeks. Some of you are already feeling this, but you're really gonna get the urge. You likely are feeling this already for some of you. Especially for you, Jade, that's coming through for me. Like you're moving toward, interesting, Spirit normally doesn't have me call out like that, but moving toward like this next, you're like looking to turn up the heat per se. Yeah. King of Wands energy, Scorpio season, Sagittarius looking to expand and optimism and learn, right? Sagittarius is always about learning. Again, it's seeking the truth. Sagittarius is all about the truth. I want to know the truth of things. The truth seeker, the philosophy. Yeah. Oh, I tough to say. Essentially, this is about, Spirit is talking about the want to expand your practice, to like turn up to saturate your practice. Essentially, Spirit is giving me that word, like you're turning up the saturation in your practice. And like coming over in like within the next week or so, 2 weeks. What are we in we're at the 9th. Spirit's typically not so specific, but if something does come up for you, like like by next Sunday, if not next Sunday, spiritually speaking, that is like a very significant mark for you in your personal practice. Fire energy. Yeah, interesting. And then the sun, right? So you may learn something about yourself. And this is coming from a change. This is coming from a... Oh, okay, understood. Spirit, you're very interested today. Thank you for that. Spirit's saying, be mindful about resisting change. You may be feeling stagnation, a fear of new beginnings, and you may be releasing and noticing negative patterns. Or there's like a stagnation, like a decay that's happening, and it's like putting you into this energy. This King of Wands and Sun energy. Interesting. Spirit usually doesn't have me do that. Not usually called to do that. Changes, Spirit, changes. Also, someone in the collective needs to hear 4s are really important and significant, and also you're very protected. Do not worry. Do not worry. You are protected. Do not worry. You're welcome. You're most welcome. Debbie, that's interesting. Picking up your oracle cards for the first time. Mm-hmm. Interesting. A Supernatural, thank you very much for the sticker. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Yeah, super interesting. All in all, you know, collective, like, keep doing the thing. Keep doing the thing. And a spiritual cleaning. Beautimous. Healthy. Wow, I think that's it, collective. I think that's it. I'm going to officially close my books for the night. And say thank you, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those who got to read and been like hanging out. I'll be back sometime tomorrow. You are welcome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for chilling up in here. You're welcome. Mwah. All right, next time. Oh, April, you are welcome. You are welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging. I know it's past my bedtime. I know. I hear you. I hear you. I love you too, April. Transformation. Good night, you guys. I'll see you next time.